If you have a prayer request or celebration, I invite you to type it into the chat, and we will do a community prayer at the end of our talk. And now I'm going to share this space and pass it along to one of our Leadership Council members, Larry, who will hold us in a meditation and a wonderful talk. And so, passing the baton. Thank you. Larry, you're muted.
Hello, everyone. Name's Larry Branch, and I did see that birthday request for Christopher. But right now, we're going to try a guided meditation. We're going to practice controlling our attention. And so, as we begin, everyone would just kind of close their eyes. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to inhale for 4 counts, hold it for 2, exhale for 4, and then hold it for 2, and then return to breathe normal. We're going to try that a few times. So let's try it for the first time. So everybody take a nice deep breath. Do this at your own pace. Hold it for 4 counts. Hold it for 2. And then exhale over 4. And hold it for 2 after you're empty. Now return to breathing. This time I want you to try it a little longer. Slow your counting down. And let's try it again. Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 4. Hold for 2. Return to normal breathing. That's a little tougher. I know, but we'll try it one more time. Let's try to go even deeper and even longer this time, okay? Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale. Hold for 2. Very good. So that's just kind of the first part of this, kind of get us warmed up a little bit here. So now we're back to normal breathing. I want all of us to just bring our attention to our feet. And for all of us who've been doing the unified meditation, it's time to exercise your see, hear, feel methods. So just concentrate on your feet right now. What do you feel? You're wearing shoes today? Are you barefoot today? Your feet on carpet, on hardwood, cement, if you're sitting outside. Have any injuries in your foot? Able to expand your toes, stretch your toes, curl your toes. Are both feet flat on the floor, or are you sitting cross-legged? How's the blood flow? Circulation. It's not a lot of hearing associated with the foot, but if you can see your feet, you're not under a table. What do you see today? Now let's move our attention to our hands. They don't have to be in any particular position. They just where they are is where they are. Are you able to stretch your fingers? Are you able to ball up into a fist? Are you suffering any pain? Any joint stiffness? Or is everything working just fine? Any injuries to the hand? Knife slip while you were cutting some fruit? Hammer missed a nail? Just noticing. Just noticing. Hands are easier to see. Do you have an image of your hands that do not look like your hands? Sometimes ladies like to put fingernail polish on their fingers and groom them. Guys do sometimes too. Is the image of your hand inside meet what's on the outside? Skin still smooth? Or are we showing age and the hard work that we do? Okay, let's go a little subtler this time. Let's move our attention to our eyebrows. Okay, it'd be very difficult to see eyebrows unless you're looking at the Zoom screen. But you can open your eyes and do that if you like. When you move your raise and lower your eyebrows, do you feel them? What do you think about your eyebrows? Do they meet in the middle? Should they be trimmed differently? Some people cut them off, pencil them back in. It's all different ways. What do you feel about your eyebrows? Has it always been a point of contention in your life, or is it just a part of the body that you barely give thought to? Okay, let's go even a little subtler. Let's move in toward the third eye. Now, for a lot of people, this is where imagination, inward vision takes over. Some people, it's quite the opposite. It's a nice place of feeling. Seat of the spiritual command ship. The captain's bridge, the place where we communicate. The place where we receive, the place where we send spiritual information. All right, let's move our attention back to our hands. And you can either rehash some of the thoughts you just had or feelings you just had. What if I asked the question, are you aware? Not of hands, feet, eyebrows, the third eye. Are you aware? Where do you go for that answer? Where does your attention turn to find that answer? So now we can all just kind of open our eyes and kind of end this exercise, and I'll explain a little more later. Thank you. So today I'm also have the opportunity to kind of share with you all the message for today. First time I've done this in quite a while. First time I've done it here with this particular, my new community. Today, our subject is none are free till all are free. So as we explore freedom, what are we talking about? For me, there's two sides to freedom. There's the thing that you're getting free from and the thing that you're getting free to. If we use the War of Independence as an example, we were getting free from the subjugation of a king and becoming free to the concept that all people are created equal and we can pursue Each can pursue happiness. The reason I joined CSL community was to explore concepts. The main one, unity and oneness. So by spiritual journey, I had already started moving in the direction of non-duality. And this really presented itself with an opportunity to explore unity from kind of two different cultural points of view. And so, yeah, I jumped on it. Since the theme today is none are free until all are free, I want us to focus on a concept called the separate self. This is kind of the A side of freedom. Unity and oneness, I consider that the B side. That's the place we go. That's the place we kind of get to. But to get to first, we have to win that battle on the A side. The separate self is not something that we're going to get rid of. It's just going to be a demarcation in our life from before and after, if you will. That the way that we looked at reality is a little different. The separate self not only includes the ego and the personality, it also attaches the physical limits of our body. Every time I bump my head when I go in the back of the car, because my tailgate doesn't go high enough, I realize the limit that I'm under. And you would think I would learn, but no. What do all 7.5 billion of us humans have in common? The answer is the way we identify ourselves. Each of us uses the term I or I am. Culturally, we have been trained to equate that I with the physical limits and the persona of the separate self. That is a materialistic point of view. One of the teachers I listen to uses the quote, "Matter is not what you see, it's the way of seeing." To quote Ernest Holmes, man's whole trouble lies in the fact that he believes himself to be separated from the source of life. He believes in duality. I am tall, I am short, I am female, I am white, I am black, I am happy, I am sad, I am fat, I am skinny, I'm loved, I'm unloved, I'm whole, I'm broken, I am over here, you are over there. She's prettier than me, he's faster than me, mommy has milk, I am this, I am not that. Culturally, object-subject thinking has been ingrained, and by kindergarten, our spiritual training is done. We are officially separate selves, having come into this world unable to distinguish between ourselves and our mother. We have been trained to separate. We are captured by trauma and shadows, and we are also held hostage. Our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions. So the A side of this captivity has us. Things we never want exposed is what our persona covers. And so we actually defend this separate self. But what if the world of objects had another point of view? What if the current paradigm would shift and present an undistorted perspective? What if life was not Maya, the Sanskrit word for illusion? What if we really exist as beings without limits and without separation? What if behind the scene there is an existence that could manifest anything, things such as perfect health, everlasting peace, and happiness. Why do we believe the limits of the separate self and not the freedoms of our essential divine nature? More to the point, can we be free from the limits of the separate self? Can we experience peace, happiness, infinite existence? The answer is yes, but only after we escape the A side. So, how do we explore the boundaries and the limits of this 3D world inside a physical body that only wants to recognize experiences of this world in 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time? In the days of slavery, there was always this debate: do we escape and leave behind our loved ones, or do we put our freedom at risk in return and help those escape? Internet videos such as Plato's Cave, Flatland, illustrate what happens when paradigms collide and people with different levels of awareness exist together. Can we do enough shadow work and meditation practice to achieve escape velocity? Are we already one with divine being, yet blind to its cause? The separate self hides and sabotages us from knowing and understanding the full truth. If enlightenment is defined as knowing and understanding our true nature, can we experience a post-egoic life and worldview? There's this old Zen saying, in the beginning, mountains are mountains and rivers are rivers. Then later on, mountains are not mountains and rivers are not rivers. Then later still, mountains are mountains and rivers are rivers. Ever been alone on a dark road with a flashlight, or out in the field where there's no lights and you just have a flashlight? All you see is what that light is shined on. In our guided meditation, we practice moving our attention from object to object, resting momentarily, allowing our awareness to observe and experience, to see, hear, feel, as we deeply observe the objects of our attention. But what happens when we focus our attention on an objectless object? More importantly, what happens to our awareness? Does awareness and attention sharpen or soften? So let me share with you the name of a strategy that could help you to escape from the A-side captivity. Atma Vichara. It's a Vedantic cultural term that means self-inquiry or self-abidance. It can transition you to the escape velocity and counter the tendencies of the A-side. So let's inquire of ourselves. Here are a few sample questions. I'll move quickly through them, so you'll have to go back and sit with these for the next month or so. What is it about this I of my being that I truly experience? What did I have for breakfast today? Can I go back in time and experience breakfast again? Can I move forward in time and experience dinner tonight? Is now the only thing I truly experience? What is my concept of time? Is it an interval between two events? Do I believe that I am bound on a timeline between eternity past and eternity future? Is that really my only experience? How long does now last? How many nows are there in a day? Do we believe we came from somewhere else? Will we exist beyond the limits after the death of this body? How old is I? Even though my body may be 40, 50, or 60 years old, how old does I feel? What is your experience concerning I? Are you the same I as when you were a child, when you were a teen, when you are an adult? What made I happy as a child, as a teen, as an adult? Are happiness and its feelings the same? Did candy as a child, my first kiss as a teen, and the birth of my child bring the same happiness, or was it different? Was the same I of my being always present? Have I never not existed? Has the same I always been aware of my essential self? Or has it just been aware of my feelings, perceptions, and thoughts? Are these just objects? Or are they part of my essential being? Has awareness always been present? So, how does the rising and the falling of feelings and perceptions limit or obscure? Persona is defined as the aspect of someone's character that is presented or perceived by others. Our culture teaches us to equate the I of our being with persona. Are we willing to explore our perceived limitations? We exist within cultural paradigms, and it requires courage to explore these limits. Let's say that the peace, let's just say that peace was our natural state of being, and thoughts, feelings, and perceptions, when agitated, cause suffering, kind of like the sun behind the cloud. In other words, the separate self obstructs the essential self. Thoughts like racism, gender reinforce concepts of separation and delude truth. But peace, like the sun, still exists. Once we learn to test for the truth and discover its reality, we are able to stand in the eye of our being. The A side no longer has us held captive. The separate self, with its thoughts, feelings, and perceptions, lose their power to cloud the truth. Once we have taken apart the mountains and taken apart the rivers and put them back together again, we see reality for what it is. Mountains are mountains, and rivers are rivers. The truth can set us free if we are awakened to it. When we become aware and experience peace as it's associated with feelings, perceptions, we experience true happiness. We are one with our divinity, and our divinity gives existence to all objects. When we are free, all are free. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
Okay, if you wouldn't mind muting, I will get into our treatment and our community prayers, and I'm checking the chat just again. A few little prayers have come in. Let's see. All right, I invite you all to settle into that knowing that Larry opened up for us, that knowing of the oneness, the peace that abides within all of us, and that center, that knowing that God is all there is. That there is this divine mind that is the back of everything. Knowing this and coming from this place and feeling that divine peace that exists through all things, we know that we are not separated from that. We are part of that, and we are an expression of this beautiful divine mind in all things. And knowing that we are one with this perfect, complete God stuff that is in all of us, that we are whole, perfect, and complete children of this God. This is who the I am truly is. Just claim that for yourself. The truth of me is this beautiful, divine I am. Realizing this, I accept and I claim the good for myself in all things. And I claim and I know a celebration for Christopher as he has his birthday. So we celebrate with him and knowing for him peace and love and goodness in all things. And I know for James that he is perfect and complete and whole throughout and with all. Holding him in this knowledge of the divine I am, that there is no separation. And I also hold for John complete, perfect health, seeing all of the cells of his body happy, rejoicing, loving life right now. And I see this throughout our planet, that as we are dealing with this idea of COVID, that our cells are completely, perfectly happy and healthy, peaceful, clear with the knowledge of what is ours to do. Knowing that as all the truth that gets awakened like a fire in the heart of all who make decisions and all who complete society and are part of society, that this truth light wakes up and that we know what is ours to do for ourselves and for others, that we see ourselves as completely connected in society. We know that we are not free until all are free. We claim this and we know this. And we express complete gratitude in this realization. Just feel this divine love and thankfulness flowing through you, knowing that because it is spoken, it is done. The law is complete. You can just say, and so it is. Letting go and letting God. And going on to music.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through. It's me where I sing. God is where I dance. Joy lives in my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me, as me. For where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. And where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me, as me. Oh, oh, do-do-do. Oh, oh, hey, yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and feel, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and leave. God is, life is, joy is, oh, God is.
Faith Rivera. Wherever I am, God is. Beautiful. This has been.
Thank you, Faith. Awesome. And now moving on to our ways of giving in a moment. Say with me our affirmation of gracious giving. The presence of Spirit with me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact, and therefore I am a blessing to myself. Go back, Charlie. I am a blessing to myself and others, and there are many ways to give. You can give on PayPal, you can give on Breeze, you can text your donation, you can send in an old-fashioned check. You can, to humankind and to the day in which I live. PayPal information, our Cash App, and our mailing address. All ways to give. And your money goes to supporting our council in all the decisions we make, the tithing that we do, the development of technology, support, all of these things we use your cash for. So thank you so much for your giving. Going on now, our community happenings, which are live and in online formats these days. So Charlene is going to share the next screen, possibly. Weekly offerings that everyone is welcome to join our dream study, which is amazing, Tuesdays at 9 a.m. And you can find where the Zoom link is on our CSL Leesburg website page under, I think it's under Get Involved, and also our Unified Mindful Practice by our very own Reverend Sunday Cote on Thursdays at 9 a.m., a way to practice that mindful meditation, and everyone is welcome to join that as well. Thank you. And now it is our time of sharing pearls. Pearls are the little bits of wisdom that will help inspire us as we carry on through the week, things that we've heard from the talk or the treatment or the songs or anything at all today, or thoughts that have been sparked by what we've heard and encountered today. And we just share those with the community. And so if there's any pearls, we can share those now. You can just unmute and share.
I have a pearl. Can you hear me? I wanted to thank Larry, and just the whole thing is just about being more aware, is a really great reminder. So thank you for that. Also, I want to send a pearl to the music because it was beautiful and the song was spot on. I'm going to mute.
Okay, and it is.
Hey, I got a pearl. No.
Go for it.
Okay, Larry, I loved it. You really said some stuff that some of the deep questions in life, and really makes you stop and think what's really important, what's really going on. Is all of this what it is, or is it really just a journey from that to, your oneness? Really made me think. So thanks for that. And I also want to congratulate Dan and Aaron on the visitation of the baby. That was so sweet. You should show some pictures of that if you can. Thanks. That's it for me.
Okay, and it is now time to close our service. So put your hands over your heart, close your eyes, and just say, I am love. Now open your eyes and look around and realize you are all love. And now we say, it's all love, and send out those love sprinkles to everyone. Thank you.